Are you aware of any institutional selling?
No, I am not. It's too early in the morning. I have no clue.
Okay, Akshay, then walk us through the quarterly performance, because the numbers have been in line with street estimates, but the volumes and the SSG took a beating during this quarter.
I like your choice of words, beating. You know, when you look at 22.3% same-store growth, I would urge you to go to the industry and find out what some of the other eminent known players, what kind of same-store growths do they have. You know, our estimate is that it is just about a single digit for most of the other players. But without trying to sound too pompous, I think 22.3 in comparison to, yeah, I would agree, 29.8% for the whole of last year looks like, you know, it is in the lesser zone, but 22.3 by itself is a good number. 45% system level growth, backed by 24 new stores that we have opened this quarter, looks a healthy number. You may be aware that we have revised our guidance for new stores for the whole year, which we will open to 100. We had earlier said 90. So if I have to kind of just summarize what our performance is, I think it's against a toughish, I would say, quarter, where, you know how the GDP, has been, at 5.3, doesn't look very rosy. It's clearly on the lower side. Consumer sentiment at a very macro level, you keep reading about these stories. But if I have to speak specifically about our business, I have been saying this for some time now, that the first early warning signals of, call it, change in consumer sentiment is visible. It probably is started reflecting into our numbers also, as well as for the whole industry. Whether it's in terms of new customer acquisition or whether it is in terms of frequency of consumption. And we have some severe analytics which we do across customer bases, across clusters and so on. We are seeing some changes there. Are they alarming? I would still say no. While, 22.3% we still believe is a good number, I think it's only a question of a couple of quarters. We will spring back and so on. What of course it has done is, it has had a certain impact on our EBITDA margins. If you see, our system level growth is 45%, 315 crores is what we have delivered. Our EBITDA margins, however, in the meantime have climbed only by 40% in comparison. Building our business for the future. So whether it's 100 new stores this year, whether it is pumping in more money into our advertising, brand building as we speak, into precision marketing, which is the ground level, customer contact kind of programs which we do, to the investments which we are making on the online medium. Today, a double digit of our total deliveries actually come through internet ordering. We've also launched mobile application and we have more than 100,000 downloads already which have happened. We are pumping in a lot of money in that area because we believe that while there may be an imminent downturn which is only temporary, this is the time where we have to build our brand further. And as we come out of the downturn, maybe in a couple of months, a couple of quarters, I think we will be far more ready than anybody else to be then, rocking at that time. So to draw, cut a long story short, I think in comparison to other quarters that we have had previous year, at a same store level, it may seem a bit lesser, but we see a big upside as far as the new store opening is concerned, and that's why we believe we will open 100 stores this year. On the EBITDA front, 18.2%, EBITDA return on sales is what we have offered. If we compare it to the previous quarter, again, we have shown improvement, to Q4 of last year. So we are running a tight ship. We are watching it very closely, and we believe one odd quarter, and then we will just kind of spring back.
But I mean, Ajay, I was not doing a peer-to-peer comparison, but on a standalone basis, your same-store growth has declined to about 22%. How many more quarters before we actually see them jump back to 28-30% kind of levels?
Anybody's guess, honestly. It's a lot of it is dependent on, factors which are beyond our control, which is, whether the GDP, the country starts again growing by 7, 8, 9% as has been in the past. I would also say in the same breath that we did 37% year before last, 30% last year. On such kind of basis, to continue doing 30 odd percent will always be a challenge, and that's the word of caution I will give to everybody, including you. But yeah, our expectation is to do better than 22.3. If the GDPs were to go back to, let's say, 7, 8, 9% growths, we see no reason why we shouldn't be growing, higher than this. Our guidance for the whole year, as far as same-store growth is concerned, is 18% plus. We will do definitely more than 18%. I would again urge you to kind of, go and have a look at what a same-store growth for some of the other, our honorable opposition is. I would conclude this statement of mine that with 489 stores today, which is like close to 500 stores, we are, I would argue, more than double the size of any other multinational food service brand in the country. We are easily the fastest growing, but more than that, we are almost the double size of anybody else, if not more. So that probably will tell you that how we seem to have got, the whole equation right with regards to customer propositions. Attacking the hinterland, we are present today in 110 cities in India, and we have mapped out another 50, 100 cities where we know that we can enter in the next 6 months to a year and so on. So we see more positivities in the market than probably an imminent 22.3%, which according to you, it fades out a little bit in comparison to what we have done in the past.
It's a fair point, but if I, excuse me, if I look at the industry in general, McDonald's India has already gone on record and they've indicated that we would be cutting rates in order to attract new customer. So in the fast food industry, are we now staring at a price war?
I think, I have a lot of respect for the brand which you just mentioned, and I'm sure they have compelling reasons to do whatever they are doing. As far as we are concerned, first and foremost, I've always said this and I actually mean it, and while I may sound cliched, we are not competing with each other. I don't think so even they are competing with us. They are trying to shift people from the conventional Indian food to consume more and more of their brand, as much as we are trying to do that. As far as price war is concerned, no, I don't think so. There are price wars that are going to happen. There will be, some price-led initiatives which each one of the players may want to do. For example, we have launched for our dine-in proposition, which means when you can go to our store, there is a product which you can now consume at 25 rupees. You know that our pizza rate starts at 39 rupees. So those kind of initiatives will keep happening. Today everybody wants to offer a full spectrum. For example, in our case, from rupees 39 until 500, you can eat pizzas. So whichever, in that pyramid, the archetypal pyramid which we talk about, whichever place you are in that pyramid, you will have a choice, as far as our menu is concerned in terms of entry level. So whether it's a 39 or a 500. So I don't think so there's an imminent price war, to answer your question quickly. But yeah, there will be price-led initiatives, and why not? In any industry, there are price-led initiatives.
Ajay, the way your stock is positioned, it is positioned as a growth stock. It is positioned as a concept stock which the company is growing irrespective of the environment. So if I'm a shareholder of Jubilant FoodWorks, how should I judge the year FY13 for you? Which way is the trajectory headed for Jubilant FoodWorks?
See, I will not answer this question in terms of what our shareholders are expecting, because our shareholders, we value them. They have their own ways of looking at the stock. All I would say is, yes, coming out of the past, we are basing our story on growth, and we are very, very positive about the growth. There may be some imminent, small dips, and these are a part and parcel of any growing economy. And I won't say they are cyclical; they are only looking upwards. And I would believe we should not read too much into these short-term dips, because I am personally very, very optimistic that the government, after whatever has happened in the last year and a half, where we seem to have gone back a little bit, are going to take some monumental steps. The economy is going to spring back. I think 7-8% GDP growth in, let's say, a year from now is possible, and I'm kind of very optimistic about it. And how this converts into a multiplier effect in terms of disposable incomes, leading into discretionary spends on items like ours, we believe there's a multiplier which applies. So right, Ajay, the story is still intact.
Ajay, very quickly,
we still believe. And if you look at a number of new stores, and I have said that in the beginning itself, 100 new stores. We have revised our the integral part of our growth story, which is opening our new stores. And these are all in new cities, small towns, tier 2, tier 3 cities.
Okay, fair point. Your guidance, I think, will, I'm sure, cheer a lot of your shareholders. Final question, 30 seconds to answer this one. What could be the worst case scenario? What is that base number you're confident of growing irrespective of the GDP or the global environment?
Our guidance for this year is at least 18% same-store growth. We would be at least delivering 18% EBITDA margin for the full year for Jubilant FoodWorks, and we should be at least bringing in 100 new stores during the course of this year.
Okay, Ajay, good to have you on the show, and well, all the best really for the future quarters ahead as well. Quick status check on the market. While the market is currently lying lackluster, it is a couple of these margin call stocks which have really gotten triggered, and you are seeing a whole amount of pressure actually build up on some of these names. Like we've been pointing out, Pipavav Defense is one such case in point. You've got acute pressure for Everon Education, Tulip Telecom. You have names like Parsivnath, Radico Khaitan. All these stocks are now down anywhere between about 20 to about 30% apiece. In fact, the Nifty 2 is now just about circling around the 51.